What's up YouTube, Capital G here, talking about the forbidden and limited list in this video, but not from the conventional standpoint. I'm not going to do a ban list prediction video telling you guys cards that should get hit or decks that need to be put in check, or maybe even cards I think should come off the list, and it's because, quite frankly, I just don't care. Despite the fact that the ban list could drop as early as Monday, I feel like the hype is absolutely not real, and it's because I think that this is going to be one of the most inconsequential ban lists we've had in some time. I think that it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and I really think that all of this talk about how the ban list needs to save the next 3 months of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is complete and utter nonsense, and I'm going to discuss all of those things in this video. But before we jump into that, let's give a quick thanks to our sponsor. This video is brought to you by the Domain trading card game. Into the next evolution of online TCGs. Domain features fast, exciting, and strategic gameplay, taking some of the best elements from games like chess and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses. Domain is quite easy to learn with its super simple tutorials, but because of its ever-changing tactical game board, it's one hard game to master. Domain starts you out with a multitude of pre-built starter decks for all skill levels and offers hundreds of cards to choose from to build your own custom deck completely free as well. The community is rapidly growing, so ask yourself, are you up for the challenge? Start playing today at enterthedomains.com and check out their Discord. Both will be in the description. Okay, so the first major reason why I don't really care about this next ban list, and I don't really feel like there's any real hype, is because this ban list can't generate the appropriate hype. We all know that when ban lists or FNL lists drop, there is a lot of hype and excitement that come following those lists. I don't think that's the reason Konami makes the list. I really do believe that they're supposed to be, trying to balance the game. I just feel like it's a side effect of the ban list, and one that's generally positive, because you guys know, especially when Konami takes things off the ban list, excitement around the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG can be at some of the highest points of the entire year. Just look at like Sammy's reaction to when Elemental Hero Stratos got taken off the ban list. He was in tears. Or for example, the ban list that we got where Card Destruction and Morphing Jar and all those crazy things came off, I was almost hyperventilating in the video. Ban lists can create tons of interest and excitement around the game, but I don't feel like it's going to happen with this list, and I don't really think that there's much Konami can do about that. Sure, Konami could do something crazy. They could maybe bring back Masterpiece or unban Zodiac Trident and or Broad Bull, and that would definitely be shocking. It would create some buzz around the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, but the main reason that I don't think that duelists would be as excited and hyped as they normally would post a Forbidden and Limited list update is because, let's be real, Konami already dropped a nuclear bombshell announcement on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Let's talk about Master Rule 5, shall we? I think we can all agree that Master Rule 5 has been one of the single biggest announcements in the last 10 years of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, and unlike Master Rule 4, which pretty much divided the community in half, Master Rule 5 has been met with overwhelming positivity from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. It seems like everyone's excitement has been at an all-time high once Konami announced MR5, and I'm not even just talking about from current players like myself.
I think this updated version is actually going to do a lot of good, and I think it's really going to help revitalize the game and bring a lot of people back to the game who really kind of got put off once Master Rule 4 and Link Monsters came into effect.
I've seen hundreds of comments, whether it be on my videos or online on social media, Reddit, Facebook, etc., from older players saying, man, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since the 5Ds era. I haven't played since, the right at the very end of Arc V, but I'm definitely going to start playing again if it means that I can play Fluffles or Flower Guardians, etc. There seems to be so much excitement around MR5, whether it be from former players or current players, and to me, there's just no way that a simple ban list can follow that up. To put it into perspective, take for example those reprint sets that we get every year, whether it be Battles of Legends or Dual Power, Dual Designator, etc., where Konami usually leads with a lot of expensive reprints that are coming out, whether it be Signet Mining or Impermanence, Bull Sword Dragon, etc. If Konami announced one of those tomorrow and they said, hey guys, you're getting Phantasme, Appaloosa, we're gonna get some extravagances in there, all that good stuff, it would be super exciting and there'd be a lot of hype and buzz in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but it still wouldn't even come close to the announcement of Master Rule 5. There wouldn't be thousands of players announcing, man, I'm coming back to the game because you guys are reprinting Phantasme. So to be honest, I don't think it really matters what Konami does on this ban list. I think a lot of the community is just sitting back, twiddling their thumbs and saying, okay, it's cute that you unbanned this card or that you did this, that, and the third. Wake me up when MR5 is going to start. My second major reason for why I don't think that the next Forbidden Unlimited list can save Yu-Gi-Oh! And really doesn't matter all that much is I can't envision any scenario where we actually get a fresh new format, no matter what Konami does on the Forbidden Unlimited list, within reason. I mean, if Konami does something crazy like says, all right guys, we're just gonna unban everything, then obviously all hell would break loose, but I'm talking about within reason. When you look at this competitive meta, which I personally consider incredibly stale and boring, there's a whole lot of Orcus and Sky Striker, and I feel like Sky Striker has been around for way too long at the top of the food chain or near it when it comes to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And when you look at Orcus, well, I guess you could say this about Striker as well, those cards have been splashed in so many different archetypes that I've grown fatigued of them twice as fast because you see them twice as often as you do any other deck. I mean, with at least Salamangreat and Thunder Dragons, they're kind of their own decks and you don't see them splash into a billion other decks, so I guess they're not quite as bad, but I really don't think Konami is going to do anything that's going to give us a fresh new meta. Let's just admit that the last Forbidden Unlimited list was weak as hell. It didn't really accomplish that much, it didn't shake the meta up that much, and we ended up pretty much with the same exact meta. I think most of us were completely underwhelmed by the last list and the changes didn't do enough. Let's just say that Konami does the same exact thing. Let's say they give us another underwhelming list where they do some stupid trash like, okay guys, we're going to semi-limit Galatea and Harpur. We're also going to semi-limit, I don't know, Area Zero. By the way, those Orcus hits were taken straight from the OCG, so Konami could do something dumb like that. Then obviously we would end up with the same exact format. Sky Striker and Orcus would still objectively be the strongest two decks, and the next meta would be probably with those two at the pinnacle of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So if Konami gives us another underwhelming ban list, then we end up with the same boring format and nothing has really changed. But even if Konami did something crazy, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll say that they absolutely hammer Orcus and Sky Striker into the ground. They make them completely unplayable. Hell, we'll even go a step further. We'll go ahead and eliminate Salamangreats and Thunder Dragons as well. What if Konami just trashed those decks? I'm talking Zodiac style. We're giving you guys 3 bans each, making the decks completely unplayable. Are you sure we'd still have a brand new fresh meta? Because I feel like we wouldn't. When I say fresh new meta, I'm thinking that either brand new archetypes that just came out are at the high levels of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Or top tier, or maybe it's going to be a situation where there are archetypes that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Like if you're telling me that ABC suddenly became the second best deck in the game, like whoa, where'd that come from? No one has seen ABC in a long time. That definitely feels fresh and new. I kind of feel like if Konami just annihilated the top 4 decks, we'd probably just end up playing the rogue decks that we're playing now. Maybe archetypes like Guru Control, True Draco, Altergeist, Pendulums, and Heroes would end up becoming the best decks in the game. If you look at the decks or the archetypes coming out in Ignition Assault, do you really believe that they're as strong as the rogue decks that we have in the game right now? Like look at a deck like True Draco, which at YCS London most recently got 2nd place, and it was contending against Orcus and Sky Striker, the best decks in the game. You really think that Senka or Attic Nisters could beat Draco consistently? Because I don't. I feel like if you matched up Pendulums or Altergeist with Megaliths, the Megalith deck would get crushed. I think the point that I'm trying to make here is the new archetypes coming out of Ignition Assault are not as strong as the rogue strategies that we have now, and they're not even going to be complete until Eternity Code. So I really wouldn't look at them to shake up the meta in any significant way. So I kind of feel like no matter what Konami does with this FNL list, the meta really isn't going to change all that much. And while you might be thinking, well, Cap, there's like no guarantee that MR5 is going to give us a fresh new meta, and that's true, but we know with Ignition Assault, like, let's be real, those archetypes are not going to change the meta. Maybe Karakuri can do some stuff under MR5, but the other archetypes, they're not going to affect the meta, not at the highest levels anyways. So look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about the January 13th or whenever they posted ban list, because if you got events to play in February and January and March, then obviously this is going to affect you. But in the big grand scheme of things, I really don't feel like it matters. I feel like most of the Yu-Gi-Oh community is kind of in a little bit of a hibernate mode. They're just kind of waiting for MR5. I don't feel like this ban list can actually come even close to reaching the hype levels of that or creating the excitement levels. I don't feel a lot of confidence in Konami actually creating a brand new format. I feel like MR5 will address a lot of the issues that people have in Yu-Gi-Oh! And honestly, we just kind of have to get there when we get there. But those are just my thoughts and opinions. You guys leave yours in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already and turn on the notification bell for daily videos.